Now, for the last 4 years, we've been doing a lot of 1031 exchanges. I have been recommending that people leave for 4 years. Get out of Minnesota, get out of Chicago, get out of New York, get out of Seattle, get out of Portland, San Francisco, and Southern California. A lot of people have. Here in Phoenix, Arizona, we have an exodus. In fact, I did a video just the other day talking about the fact that U-Haul can't get enough trucks to supply all the people leaving California and heading east. And of course, Arizona is the first place that they stop. We got $2 billion for the last 4 years. Every year, $8 billion in tax base from California. That means California lost $8 billion in tax base to us here in Phoenix, Arizona. Do you know that Arizona reduced its income tax by 2%? 2.5% went down from 4.6 to 2.5. I guess that's it's 2.1%. Can't do that. It's the most they can get. We've got a very balanced budget. We've got a lot of money coming in. Thank you, California. Very bad for California. So we've been telling people to get out of California. There's much better places. And you know what we hear is that I've got $1 million in equity in a property. I've got this big capital gains, and I'm going to pay a fortune in taxes, and I don't want to do that. Well, your broker's doing you a disservice, because when we in the investment business, remember, I'm a certified real estate investment advisor. We do IRC 1031 exchanges all the time, every day, because we have a lot of people leaving California, all along both coasts, leaving New York. We've been telling you to get out of New York too, particularly in Chicago. Get out of Chicago. These places, were wonderful, great markets, and they've had problems. So right now they have a problem. It's time to get out. So looking 5, 10, 15 years out, and we hold our investments for a long time. So what do we do with them when we get this big equity buildup and we don't want to pay tax? Because I just had someone in Chicago. We sat down like 6 months, a year ago, and they said, well, I've got this big equity buildup. I don't want to pay tax on it. We talked about doing a 1031 exchange. They hemmed and hawed. And in the last year, they've lost about $400,000 in value. And it's going to get worse, of course. And to me, that doesn't look like there's a lot of recovery coming. And this money can be deployed elsewhere: Florida, Texas, Arizona. Here in Arizona, we've got the Taiwan semiconductor plant that started out at like $8 billion, then went to $12 billion. Then I did a video. It's like $165 billion, and I'm hearing now it's going to go up over $300 billion in plant there. It is just enormous. Going to have all kinds of 62,000 people working for it, and of course, it makes computer chips, and it makes the AI chips for NVIDIA and for AMD. So the future is pretty good for there. So we've been buying a lot of properties there and exchanging into it. As you know, we have a moratorium on new properties, but we'd like you to get out of a bad market and get into a good market. Very easy to do, very nominal to do. So here's the mechanics of it. We can certainly set this up every day. If you want to call me, I'm going to put my contact information in the next slide so you can do it. The hardest part about doing an IRC 1031 exchange, making the decision. That's it, man. If you make the decision which property you want to do this, and this is something you want to do, everything falls in line. It is so easy. So let me just explain what this is. It is simple. So you decide which property needs to be an investment property, and you can buy a like for like, and that is wide open. You can sell an investment property, a rental, buy vacant land. You can sell vacant land, buy all kinds of rental properties. You can buy business. You can buy strip malls. You can buy multifamily. You can get into Delaware statutory trusts. You can get into almost anything as long as it's held for investment, and we can transfer the funds without having a capital gain. And if you've got a property that has all the depreciation has been done, we can restart depreciation. There's a formula for it, so you have to talk to your CPA. Who'll work that out for you. It's pretty easy to do, and it's very nominal. So if we transferred $1 million, and this is typically what we see. We see a property coming out of Seattle. You bought it 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It's free and clear now. this is the beauty of having rentals with mortgages on them, is that your tenant pays it off for you. And so it pays it off. You earned cash flow. You earn tax savings through depreciation. That gets to be free and clear. And now it gets to the point where there's, we need to do something better with it. And a lot of people don't want to sell them because they say, oh, look, I've got $800,000 in gain. I'm going to pay 15 or 20% tax on that, which of course, it's a very good reason not to do that. I understand that completely. Talk about $120,000 you have to send to the government just because you decide you want to sell one of your properties. Highway robbery. However, every taxpayer in the United States, a U.S. citizen, we have the right to exchange our properties. And this is simple. Hardest part, decide which one you want. Then it becomes, if you decide, say, I've got a rental, tenants have moved out, we're going to clean it up, we're going to paint it, we're going to get it up on the marketplace, and I'm going to sell it. Just a normal sale. You got all your costs that you normally would have. You close the transaction, and you send the money to a qualified intermediary, a 1031 exchange specialist, a QI. And that is day one. You have 45 days with which to identify another property. Just have to say, this is the one I want to buy. And you can do 2 or 3 of these and say, look, I want to buy 2 or 3. So typically what we see here in Arizona is someone sells $1 million in Seattle and they buy 2 or 3 properties here in Phoenix. Easy peasy. And you can do that. You can expand your income. You can get more depreciation. And you can refinance this. Now, there's a couple of rules. We just have to follow the rules. You have to identify within 45 days, and you have to close within 180 days. This is really, really simple, very nominal. Now, your money, you close your transaction, you got $800,000 in equity, so you maybe have $1 million, and it goes to the QI. Then you just decide which properties you want to buy, easy peasy, and we have to close them. Now, you can put mortgages on these too. So you just have to spend all the money. So if you spend $1 million and say we bought maybe 3 or 4 properties in Arizona, we do this a lot. So let's just say 3. You've got $1 million. You can buy really good properties here in Phoenix, Arizona for $350,000, $400,000, get a very nice cash flow for them. And you've got $1 million to spend, you're going to spend $1.2 million. We can finance the rest. Easy peasy, just like a normal sale. We can easily do that. And here's the deal: the cost of doing for using the qualified intermediary, like $1,000, $1,500, $1,600. It's very, very nominal. So you can buy. It's like you have to. Each one is a little different. But, the initial one is like $1,000 and it's like $250 for every property you buy thereof. So if you buy 2, it's $1,500. You buy 3, it'll be under $2,000 for sure. Very, very easy. Of course, it's a business expense, so it can be taken off. So this is easy peasy to do. You can get out of a bad market into a much better market for virtually nothing. I mean, you can it's very, very nominal. So many benefits. We can restart your depreciation, put a little mortgage on a free and clear property, just a little one, and let your tenant pay off that loan. And we're an easy street and get a cash flow. So you can go from 1 property to 2 or 3, pretty doggone easy. I'm going to let me get my next slide here and just show you where I'm at. You are welcome to call me here and make an appointment. We can talk to you and your spouse. We can talk to you and your advisor, talk to you and your CPA, talk to a bunch of them, decide if this is going to work for you. Because this is the hardest part, is making the decision. That is literally the hardest part. So if this is where I'm at, you're welcome to give me a call. I'm more than happy to talk to you personally. Come here to my office, sit down with me, or we can do a video chat. So my very best for you. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye now.